Welcome back everybody. Today I'm doing an empties video for you, and this feels a bit weird because it's a Friday night and I haven't filmed on a Friday night, I don't know, in a long time. It feels like a really long time. And I also have a different mic setup tonight, which is not a mic setup that I use much anymore, just because down here in this environment, in the old house I used to use this mic a lot, but in this environment I don't use it that much because I have tiles on the floor here and I feel like it gets a bit echoey. But somebody didn't charge her remote wireless mic today, so this is my fallback position. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, it's Friday night. I haven't filmed on a Friday for a really long time. And the reason I'm filming tonight is because tomorrow I'm doing a soap making class and I was worried that I wouldn't have time to film. And the reason why this has popped into my head and why I've decided to do this class is because I've been doing this no-buy, obviously, and working my way through things, and I have empties to show you tonight. And it was just a process of going through that I had dug out a bar of soap that somebody had gifted me, and it was obviously an artisanal type bar of soap. Somebody had made it by hand, and I thought to myself, I could do this, I could make this. Hence, I am doing a soap making class tomorrow, just for the joy of it. Anyway, so that is why I'm filming on a Friday night, and I know I'm a little bit scatterbrained, but I've had a really big week and a really big day actually today, and I sort of had a really important meeting today, and I personally felt like I had goofed it, but apparently not. The feedback has been good, but I was asked a very curly question, and it was just the one question that I hadn't anticipated and I don't know if I handled it very well. But anyway, so I'm elated about the fact that the feedback was good and we basically got the approval to do what we want to do. But I'm also a little bit deflated because I felt like I didn't really personally handle the questioning very well. Swings and roundabouts. It was the first one I've done. I was extremely nervous, and I probably was more nervous than I needed to be, and everyone had told me that I was getting more worked up about this thing than I needed to, but that's just the way I roll. I like to be really super prepared. So I literally spent the last 3 days writing pages and pages of potential questions that I might be asked and notes on how I would respond to those questions. And I really thought I had all my bases covered, and they just asked this question that nobody anticipated them asking. And it threw us all. But as the person who was meant to be the lead respondent, I don't feel like I did a very good job. Anyway, but that's okay. I guess I'm still learning is the lesson from that. So basically I'm feeling I feel like I've been talking a lot, and of course, the meeting there was all this debrief with all these different people just sort of, talking about what had happened and the suggestions that were made, and brainstorming that and problem solving for that. And this isn't going to make any sense to you because I can't obviously tell you what it was about in detail, but effectively for the last 3 hours I've been talking non-stop. So, but we will soldier on. Okay, so empties. So I think I already mentioned, but just in case in editing it doesn't come out, if you're here for the perfume content, unfortunately there are no empty perfumes this month, but I am almost like 99.9% certain there's going to be some perfume empties for next month. So we will revisit that then. But suffice to say, if you're here for perfume content, then this is not the video for you. This is mostly going to be skincare. But for those of you who are looking for the perfume content, tomorrow I'm going to be filming a house overview video which will hopefully come up in the next week or so. There will also be a what I've been wearing video using my Airtable. That'll be coming out in the next week or so, hopefully. And then also I still have to finish putting together my my retrospective video from March, which I still have not done, and including my Tasmania holiday vlog thing, which has been really intimidating and really hard. And it made harder by the fact that because I'm not used to vlogging, I didn't actually film every day. And so there's bits where I'm talking on a particular day and then I'm not talking for another 3 days or something. So it's a bit weird. So I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that, but bear with me. I'm learning. I really want to do more of the vlog stuff because it's fun, but I think I'm overthinking it. In case you hadn't noticed already, I'm a bit of an overthinker and I'm a planner, and I like things to be perfect. So, and I know it's not going to be perfect, but it doesn't stop me from trying to make it perfect in my mind, and then I can't execute on it, and then I procrastinate. So it's a process. It's just a process that I go through. So there's more perfume content coming, and I also want to do an amber video because somebody asked me recently in one of the comments to compare a couple of different ambers, and I have my thoughts on that. I've done it. I just haven't filmed it. So all of these things are coming up, and I've just got to find the time to film them all. I know that was a bit of a ramble. Let's get on with the video for tonight, which is my May empties video. Okay, so as I mentioned, it is mostly skincare this month, but I do have a couple of candles because I always have candles at the end of the month. I just have a few of these Queen Bee Beeswax Votive candles, which I actually did talk about in the last video. I have finished up a couple of these. I like burning these alongside another scented candle because it just means that I can get more ambiance without adding more perfume to the air, if that makes sense. And I do really enjoy these ones, and I wish they were a bit bigger. I thoroughly enjoyed these. They just give off this beautiful light, and they don't have a strong scent. They do smell like honey when you burn them, but it's not like, you only smell it when you're literally right next to them. It's not a case of they're perfuming the air with honey or anything like that. It's not that strong. So anyway, so that was those. And then literally just today, I finished this one, and this is Revolution by Urban Alchemy. I've talked about Cody's candles a lot on this channel, and I think a few of you have bought some too. Oh God, this is so good. This is Tobacco, Iris and Musk, and it is so good. And with those notes, you might think that it would lean sort of softly feminine perhaps, but actually is quite masculine leaning in terms of a scent. And oh, it's a fantastic scent for a room, and I love it. And it's been on my desk burning for several weeks now, and I'm very sad that it's finished because I can't replace it yet, but I will buy this one again. This is going to be a repurchase for me for sure. I just love this scent. So that is Revolution. I'm just going to say Revolution because it's an Australian brand and I don't speak French, so I don't know why I did that. Next up is a moisturizer. I became a little bit obsessed with watching Dr. Shireen Idris on YouTube a few months ago. She's a cosmetic dermatologist based in New York. And the reason I discovered her channel was because I was looking for some advice on using retinol versus tretinoin in my skincare routine, and I stumbled across, I think, one of her videos where she was talking about retinols or something, and then I just kept watching her channel, and she has an incredible, she's grown very, very quickly, and for good reason, because she just gives very sage, practical, reasonable, sensible advice on skincare and what to do with your skin and when. Basically, it's just all very sensible. And so she was recommending this moisturizer, which I can't actually get in Australia, but there is a website that I can buy it through very easily. And this is the Aveeno Calm and Restore Moisturizer Gel. And because I discovered Dr. Idris's channel in summertime, this was a great recommendation because I live in a really hot, humid climate, particularly in the summer, and this is just a really lovely, light, cooling almost sort of consistency for my skin. I do tend to have dry skin, and yet it can get quite, but yet at the same time it can get a very greasy, oily feel to it, and it's probably because I put so much stuff on it. Like I wear a lot of sunscreen every day. You know, I think they say use a quarter of a teaspoon of sunscreen on your face. I think I use probably a full teaspoon easily on my face every day. So I can get quite a greasy, glowy feel. And it also just works as a really lovely summer moisturizer because it is so lightweight, and it's a gel cream sort of thing. But yeah, this is a really lovely product, and I will happily repurchase this once I have made my way through all of the samples and whatnot of other moisturizers that I currently have in my cabinet. Speaking of samples of moisturizers, I also had this little pot of the Perricone MD Cold Plasma Plus. This was such a strange consistency. It was really quite thick, and it felt lovely because it felt so nourishing, but at the same time there was just something weird about it. I think I didn't particularly like the fragrance in here either. I don't know if it has fragrance in it, but I didn't particularly like the smell. It sort of almost smelled a little bit oceany, fishy, kind of maybe seaweedy. I don't know what's in it. Maybe it's got some seaweed extract or something in it. I will say, as a product, it worked beautifully on my skin, and I have no complaints about how it performed. I think it made my skin beautifully soft. How I ended up using this, so this was a free sample that I got, I don't know when, but I didn't buy this, but how I use it is with my tretinoin, which I only use a couple of nights a week. I would put a little bit of the tretinoin on my finger, and then I'd get a globule of this, and I'd mix them together, and then I'd put it on my face so that I didn't have, you know, because I was finding that I was getting irritation from the tretinoin. So this helped that beautifully. When I started doing that, I didn't have any problems, and I just love how this made my skin feel, but I just didn't love necessarily how it smelled. So I don't know, I have a feeling this is a quite pricey product, and so I'm not sure if I would spend the money necessarily to buy it, but it worked beautifully, and if you don't mind the smell, then maybe it's worth checking out. In fact, I think most of these things are sort of moisturizer type stuff. So the other one that was a recommendation from Dr. Shireen Idris was the Cicaplast Baume B5 from La Roche-Posay. And I finished this one up. I'm on to another one now. I did repurchase this even though I still have other moisturizers in my repertoire, but I consider this to be more of a treatment to try and help settle my skin. So I love having this in my cabinet, and I'm kind of at the point where I'm sort of using it every night now, but when I replaced it and when I first started using it, I was only sort of using it a couple of times a week, like a mask almost, to try and help keep my skin calm. And it's just such a nourishing product. It's very calming. It's got panthenol in it, so it helps to calm the skin. It's very soothing, and yeah, I just love this stuff. So I don't ever really not want to have it. And it's not, I don't think it's super expensive. I think maybe this is around the $35 mark. I just find that this never, you know how sometimes when your skin is irritated and you put a moisturizer on, it still burns a little bit or it stings a little bit? I never get that with this, ever. It's too heavy to wear in the daytime, say under makeup, but at nighttime, it's like a savior. So I pretty much am wearing this every night now. And so I don't consider this to be like a normal moisturizer. This is like my soothing nighttime treatment that I cannot be without. So yeah, that is the Cicaplast Baume B5 by La Roche-Posay. Another La Roche-Posay product which I've been through many times before. This is the Toleriane Sensitive Cream Rich Cream. It's just hydrating, or actually it just says hydrating soothing moisturizer on here. This is okay. I mean, it's probably better than okay, but I think for me, this one I was trying to use up in the summertime, and it's too heavy as a daytime moisturizer for me in the summertime, particularly with the humidity that we have. So it wasn't, you know, when I finally got to use this up, I wasn't really enjoying it that much, but it is very nice. But now that I, you know, for the purpose that I would normally use this for, which is to wear it at night time, I now have the Cicaplast Baume B5, so I probably wouldn't bother replacing this one. I prefer to use a more lightweight moisturizer for daytime, because then I can really slather the sunscreen over the top of it and not feel like I'm a total grease ball. So I probably won't be repurchasing this, but that's only because the Cicaplast Baume B5 has basically replaced this in my routine. Next up is a makeup product, actually. This is a little Nars lip balm in Orgasm. Actually, it's a lip, is it a lip balm or is it it's a lip gloss, I think. This was a freebie that I got, I think in some kind of beauty box quite some time ago, probably many years ago actually. And I have actually used it all up. Even the little, like the fluffy stuff on the applicator has actually worn off, and it's now just like a plastic nub on the end. I have an issue with the packaging of these sorts of products because it feels like you can't actually get everything out. And I probably could go into it with a cotton bud and really try and scrape it out. But this product is so old, and I only really discovered it late last year, and that's when I started wearing it. It's been in my makeup bag or my makeup case for a long time. And I've never really paid any attention to it because I've never really been a lip gloss person, and suddenly now I'm a bit of a lip gloss person. So I did start wearing this, and I've worked my way through the entire thing. So I really liked it. I did actually really enjoy this shade. I know a lot of people, it's a very popular shade, so obviously a lot of people love it, but I think also a lot of people hate it because it's got that gold shift to it, but I kind of liked that. So yeah, so I was a bit sad actually, because when I was getting to the end of this, I thought, oh, maybe I should see if I can replace it, and then I went online and you can't even buy this anymore. But that's okay, because I've since discovered a number of other lip gloss products that could probably easily replace this, because the reality is that once something is on your lips, unless it's a drastically different color, anything that's similar to this is going to suffice. So next up is this Yo Glow Enzyme Scrub. I think it's by a company called Wishful. It was literally just a sample. I really liked this. I had no idea what this product was about. Obviously I knew it was an enzyme scrub, but I actually quite enjoyed using this. So, I mean, it was an enzyme scrub. there's probably not much to tell about it. My skin felt beautiful after using it, and I managed to get a few uses out of this one little sachet, but I don't know what else to say really. The texture of it was really nice. It didn't have a smell or anything that I felt was offensive, and it didn't irritate my skin, it didn't sting my skin or anything like that. But yeah, my skin felt, I've never really used Enzyme scrubs before, so I didn't really know what to expect, but I was really pleasantly surprised. My skin felt really soft and smooth after using this. So I don't know if I would bother like trying to track down this particular one again, but if I ever wanted to invest in another Enzyme scrub, I might consider this one, or I might just try something else to see how they go. But if you've used Enzyme scrubs, let me know. I haven't really got much experience with them. So next up, I have not one, but two of the Guerlain Essence vials, and I'm really starting to rip through these now because I have kind of fallen in love with them. Although I think this one, so this one is the Arbeille Royale one, and I don't know if it's an essence. I think it is an essence, but it's a honey based one or something. And this one was okay, but my favorite is this one, which is the Orchidee Imperiale Essence in Lotion. And I don't know, I'm totally addicted to this now. I think I might have one or two of these left, and then I'm out. And you know, I was such a naysayer when I started using this. I thought it was just a nothing product, and now I really love it. But I don't think I want to spend the money to buy another Guerlain full-sized essence. So give me your recommendations for a good skin essence, because I think I want to buy one. I think I want a full-sized one, and I just don't know which one to get. I've heard a little bit about the Snail Mucin one. I think it's the CosRx one, but I don't know. I'm really such a noob when it comes to essences. I have no idea. I know I like this one, but I'm open to suggestions on others that might be good, that you might recommend, because I do actually really love that sensation of getting out of the shower and putting an essence on my skin before I have time to get to the full skincare routine. Because yeah, I mean, I find even if I'm not washing my face, just rinsing my face with water in the morning and getting out of the shower, particularly in winter time, because I'm having hot showers and I'm probably having them hotter than I should, but I do really like the sensation of putting this on my skin straight after I've gotten out of the shower, and then having a few minutes to, you know, dry off and maybe get dressed and then put my skincare on. Wow, we're ripping through these tonight. Second last thing is a tube of Azelaic Acid. This is by the company Asclear. It's an azelaic acid. I don't know what else to tell ya. I'm not sure I love the sensation of this on my skin. This is the only one that seems to be readily available for me over the counter where I live, but I don't think I love the formulation of this. I don't think it's as cosmetically elegant as it could be. So you might recall that these guys do a serum, a soothing serum that I really, really love. I hate the smell of it, but because it actually doesn't have a fragrance and it kind of just smells like lubricant. But it really does help to soothe my skin quite substantially, and it has a very cooling effect, even though it's not menthol-y per se, but it's just that really beautiful gel aqua-y type serum. That is by the same company as this, but for some reason this just feels really thick and tacky and kind of humid on my skin. And I do have another tube of this, and I'm using it, and I use it pretty much every day, but it's not my favorite, and I'm thinking there might be another formulation of azelaic acid out there that I might prefer. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the As Clear. Next up is one that I'm really sad to have finished. This is the Chanel Camellia Hydrating Mask. It's gorgeous, this product. I know Chanel is not a clean beauty brand, and I also know that they're expensive, but I have to say they do good stuff. And this is just the most gorgeous mask I think I've ever used. And it smells nice, it feels nice, it goes onto your skin and it feels really thick and nourishing, but then it has like an almost velvety finish, and it's so nice. So it's not tacky, but it's hydrating, and it just, oh, it smells so good. It smells so fresh, and yeah, I don't know, I just really love it. And I'm sad that it's finished, because I'm probably not going to replace it yet, because it is quite pricey, and I don't know, there's other things I want to spend money on at the moment. But that is the Chanel Hydra Beauty Camellia Repair Mask. I'll save that for a time when I'm feeling a little bit more frivolous with my money. And last but not least, this is another one I'm sad to have finished, because I have been a little bit distracted lately and I haven't gotten around to ordering any replacements. And it does take a while for these to come because you can't buy them in Australia. But this is the Native Deodorant in Lavender and Rose. And this is just my favorite deodorant now. I don't know what else to say. I did talk about this in a previous video, and I did talk about the fact that, you know, they claim that it doesn't leave marks on your clothes and stuff, and I think I disputed that claim a little bit, although I did put it down to how I use it. But I tell you, I have been using just a normal roll-on deodorant from the supermarket that I bought when this ran out. And I think it's a Dove one, or maybe it's a Neutrogena, I can't remember. But my armpits are really itchy now. Like, they've been so itchy for weeks. And I know it's the deodorant. I've just bought this roll-on deodorant, but I need something, right? I need to use something, and I didn't really want to go back to using aerosols. Not that I particularly have anything against using aerosols. You know, in the past they haven't really irritated my skin or anything, but I do find that they just don't seem to be as effective at, you know, cancelling out odor. And I find the aerosols can start to smell a bit sour on me after a few hours towards the end of the day. So for that reason, I suspect the sourness is probably my own sweat sort of coming through and mingling with the smell of the aerosol. I don't know, but aerosols just aren't doing it for me at the moment. And you know, I've been using these deodorants for I think 18 months straight, and now I've had to revert back to sort of just a normal department store deodorant in the meantime, and I'm hating it. I'm really, really hating it. So I need to order some more of this. This is not sponsored. I buy these myself, but I do really love this product, even though they can have a tendency to leave marks on my clothes if I put too much on. But I like to go ham with my deodorant. I want to make sure that I'm well protected. So that was perfect timing. The camera just ran out. My camera cuts out at about half an hour. So if I get to speak for half an hour and then it just shuts itself off, it obviously thinks that I've forgotten about it and left it on. And so it turns itself off, which is good for battery saving purposes, but not so great if you're filming and you're rabbiting on like I tend to do. So that is the end of my empties for this month. And again, recommendations welcomed, please, for essences that I might consider as my next purchase to replace all of the essences that are no longer going to be available in my skincare routine once I've finished the last 2 of those little, I think it's 2 that I have left. So do let me know if you use skin essences and which ones you recommend. So that's it from me this evening. I think I have talked enough. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful start to the weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.